Hey everyone, I'm Kate Kropp and this is Chalk It Up to Prop. So this video is all about personalized instruction and how you can incorporate more of those things in your classroom. So again, the first thing about personalized instruction is that it's scary. Oh my God, the idea of having to individually assess and assign assignments throughout an entire semester for all of your students. I mean, I don't know about all of you guys, but I've got over 90 students. That is a ton of curriculum that I've got to create and then grade and then get it in the grade book and all on time so that students are getting that immediate feedback that they need, right? It's just so stressful. However, it's actually not that hard. What I've come to find out is that personalized instruction is, honest to God, the best way to get our students to progress throughout the semester. Honestly, it is like pulling teeth, trying to get my students to focus on the same assignment throughout the classroom, because one student is already done and the other student doesn't even know what the instructions are. And so I'm constantly bouncing around the classroom. I never get to sit in this wonderful chair right here. And I am so tired by the end of the day. I'm honestly exhausted. And my students have maybe picked up 20% of what I was trying to get them to understand. So then the next day I come in and I'm having to reteach half the class because they didn't quite get it. I'm having to incorporate new lessons and new things for the students who did get it to work on. And I'm already personalizing. If that's the way you're teaching, then you are already personalizing instruction. So just stop. Take a reflection moment, especially when the holidays are coming around or summer break happens. Just take a moment to breathe and to think about what you're already doing in the classroom. Because if you're already doing these things, if you're already including in differentiation, why not personalize it? Because that's the best way to get our students to really progress throughout the semester. I am 100% a believer. So there are wonderful technological apps and websites out there that you can include in your lessons for each of your students. And the thing is, it's fun. When students get to come to the classroom and they know immediately what they need to work on and they enjoy getting on the computer, they will get right to work and they will try to beat each other's high scores and try to beat each other's Lexiles. So again, I know you're wondering, what apps are these? Okay, so there's Read Theory. Read Theory has been around forever, guys. If you don't know about Read Theory yet, you definitely need to get on the bandwagon. It's not flashy. It is kind of boring to look at, but it works really, really well. And it's shocking to so many of my students to take that initial assessment at the beginning and to find out that their Lexile or reading score is a fifth grader's. I teach high school. So when they realize that their Lexile scores are so low, first off, they get mad. And then they start to try to beat each other. So once they learn what the program is, they will come into class those 3 days a week that they have to do Read Theory, and they will just be so excited to show that they are learning, to get that higher score, to beat everyone else in the classroom or in all of my classes. And of course, I will have a scoreboard up and I will have prizes that go to all those students who get those high scores. And that's what you want. You want to have competition in the classroom, especially if you have competitive students. Now, obviously, if your students are just going to shut down at competition, don't do it. But that's where you show your strengths as a teacher, being able to understand who your students are. Okay, take a pause on Read Theory. Another wonderful website that allows you to personalize instruction is No Red Ink. No Red Ink is a writing and grammar assessment tool. So students will, again, take that pre-assessment, and it places each student on its own course. Okay? So then students will work on No Red Ink once or twice a week to improve their grammar and then improve their writing skills. So you can use this as essay writing, you can use this as grammar, so it hits two different boxes in your curriculum, right? Okay, so again, students will come in and they will try to do better than their friends or everyone else in the class, and that's what you want. You want to get your students excited to learn and to do better. So those are the first two technology enhancement tools that can help you personalize the instruction. Another one is Quill.com. Quill.com is also a grammar tool, and if you like No Red Ink, Kind.com is another wonderful tool that you can use for assessing grammar. All of these websites are going to score the students as they progress. So when it comes time to add in your grades every week, all you have to do is go straight to those websites and plug and chug the grades. It's wonderful. It would only be better if you could attach your PowerSchool or any other software that your school uses for grades. Now, some of those programs I know will link up. PowerSchool does not. So if you use PowerSchool, we have to do it the hard way. Print out the scores, type them in. But again, it's so much easier than having to go back and assess everyone and independently grade all the assignments and put all the grades back in. So honestly, it's super easy to add these few elements of personalized instruction, and you will see progression throughout the semester as your students are working at their own pace on the strengths and skill sets that they need to work on, right? All right, so something else that I like to use is QUIZLET or Actively Learn. These are two websites that allow you to pull text from online and give students a chance to read something they're actually interested in. If you've got the kid who only wants to talk about soccer, they've got articles all about soccer and how soccer impacts society, and short stories that are fiction about a soccer player. So these are ways to get students excited about reading. And what I love about these is they come with pre-graded assessment questions that are very similar to end-of-course assessment questions. So I can see how well my students answer these questions. I can also talk to them and be like, what is it that you didn't understand about the question, or what did you not understand about the story? And so this is where things get a little bit more hectic for me as a teacher, because while the assessments are graded on their own, I will have to go back and discuss the texts with my students, because this is not grammar and this is not just improving a Lexile score. This is the meat of an English classroom where I have to figure out how my students are doing on comprehending and being able to answer these questions. However, you don't have to do a ton. They don't need to do something every day. What I like to do is to assign 1 or 2 QUIZLET or Actively Learn assignments for personalized instruction, but then also include a whole class assignment. So everyone in the class has to get through this one story, and everyone in the class has to write an essay on this one story, and everyone in the class has to show the use of literary devices and has to create a literary analysis or even a personalized project on one text. But by incorporating the other elements of personalized instruction, it really balances out. So students can work together on the whole class instruction assignment, and then they work independently and at their own pace at the things that they need to learn more about. Another thing that you can do is add QUIZLET flashcards to each of your units. So students are getting the vocabulary that they need to learn in order to understand the whole class instruction. And as students are playing the QUIZLET games and are going through the flashcards, then they're picking up that vocabulary without having to spend an entire class period of students taking down definitions and drawing posters and pictures of vocabulary terms. This is something that they can do on their own, on their phones. They can play flashcard games on their phones, and it's just another little thing that you can add that may not be fully personalized because it's the same terms for everybody, but they are learning the terms on their own at their own pace, right? So again, these are just a few quick tips and tricks of how to add some personalized instruction into your own lessons. Some easy things to add just to get it started. And I really think that if you start out slowly, you will get more excited as a teacher to really start incorporating these things that do the hard work for you. They grade for you. They get the students excited without you having to, really work super hard to get them excited, because students are already competitive by nature. Even the ones who are not very competitive, they still want to do well. They still want their grade, right? So again, I hope that this has helped you guys out. If you look below, there will be a link to a free printable PDF of a schedule. So one of the other things that's super easy about personalized instruction, or at least helps me out, is to give each student a printout of their weekly assignments. If you're really freaked out about having to assign and keep track of all the different assignments that students have, one easy thing that you can do is print out a schedule for each of your students. This would be something that you create on a Monday, pass out, and then students keep this in the beginning of their notebook to keep track themselves. And when it's time for you to assess what they have completed and what they haven't, then you just take up that sheet and then you go onto your digital platforms and you make sure that they have what they have scored. You put in the scores on the sheet and give it back to them the next Monday. You can use the sheet that I've created. It's down below if you click on the free Principal PDF. I hope it helps you guys out. If you have any suggestions, comments, or questions, please leave a comment, email me. I love to get back to all of you. Thanks. Hope you have a wonderful time personalizing your classroom.